What is going on, everyone? It is week 12 track guide time. So, yeah, we made it through the season. I hope everybody's season's been well. I hope you guys have done well. I hope these videos have helped you in some way to progress up the field and maybe win your division championship or get your first race win or whatever it may be. First off, just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's liked and subscribed to our channel and page and been involved with our content. Yeah, it means a lot. Hey, so we're going to kick off with the guide for Road America. So we're in late afternoon conditions. Fixed setup, GT4 Merc as normal, and yeah, that's pretty much all the information you need to know. So we'll roll on down. There'll be a fast lap at the end of the track guide, just to show you how we sort of attack it. And yeah, so we'll get into it before this sun gets right in our faces and it's harder to see your points. So coming down to turn one, you want to be as far to the left hand side as possible. You want to set yourself up to brake at the second set of cones. So the 3 cones here, this is where you want to be braking. So as you brake, you want to get back to third gear as quick as possible. But you've got to be careful with this car. I find when it's especially the Merc, I don't know how much the McLaren and the other car, the Aston Martin, sort of move around in the braking. But the Merc, because all the weight's in the front, the rear tends to skirt around a little bit more in the bigger braking zone. So nice big brake pressure, down 2 gears, and then you want to bleed off the brake pedal as you're entering the corner. You might need to tap the brake at the apex just to get the nose to sort of tuck in a little bit more as you approach, as you sort of clip the apex, just to keep it from running wide and grabbing the grass on the exit. So third gear here. Now the line's pretty sort of basic line, so I sort of wait till nearly the end of the curb. It's about here. I start to turn the car at the corner, and then I grab the apex pretty much mid-corner, use quite a bit of curb through this part of the corner, and then let the car track out nice and wide, a little bit of curb on the exit, then heading down the hill up to 4th gear. Now this one's a little bit tricky because you can't actually see the board properly, but it's the 2 board just past, because the wall sort of comes out and then ducks back in and then comes back out sort of thing. When you're actually driving down the hill, the fence in front that sort of comes out makes it hard to see the 2 board, but that's where we're braking. So it's about here. There's a line on the road, but obviously when you're in a pack, you're not going to see that line. So in a quality run, you'll see it. But so from here, so 4th, back to 2nd, same again here. So I use 2nd to get the car to rotate, and then I short shift to 3rd. It's just, I find it's more comfortable to get the car to turn in here because it looks like it opens up, but then it gets quite tight on the exit. So you just need that little bit of extra rotation to make sure that you don't end up in the grass. So clip the curb, then let the car run nice and wide over the back of the curb, and then up through the gears. Under the bridge. And then as you're coming down here, you want to brake at the 2 board again. Oh, 3 boards. No, it's sort of, it's between them. If I'm on a quali run, it's 2 definitely. Because I'll just absolutely pound the brake pedal going into the corner. But I feel like in a race run, you sort of don't want to push your tyre that hard, especially in the early stages of a race. So it's probably around the 220, 230 mark that I'm actually braking. So roughly about here in a race condition, but here in quali. So it is quite a difference. As you come down, nice and close to the curb. You can actually run over the curb a little tiny bit, so you can put your car half over it if you want to, just to open up the corner a little bit more. I don't like, because if I'm not completely in the right spot, yeah, I don't like breaking the tyre on the curb. It's just something I don't feel comfortable with doing. Some guys do it fantastically, but for me, I'm not comfortable doing it. And then really, I turn in as the bitumen on the road changes colour. So that's where I start to turn in, clip the apex, let the car run nice and wide over the back of this curb, up the hill, third gear. At the top of the hill, once you get under the bridge, brake, back to second. Turn the car, let it run wide. So this is the next tricky one up here. So third gear. So for me personally, I like to short shift to fourth and just lift a little bit just to get the car to balance through the corner. So it's about here, sort of where the yellow signs start on the wall is when I go to fourth. And then it's just like sort of managing the car through the corner. So on the curb, you lift a little bit to get it close, pick up the throttle again, let it run wide, and then just chase it down the hill. Then you want to go back at the 2 board or just before the 2 board, back to second gear, turn in at the end of the curb, grab all the curb on the inside, square the car up to third, short shift to fourth, middle of the track, lift off the throttle, tap the brakes slightly to keep the nose in. You'll feel a bump. You're sort of dancing on the throttle like we were at Tsukuba in the last sort of corner. And then there's a bump 3/4 of the way around. So once you get there, the car will sort of bounce, and then you know you can nail it on the throttle. You'll get close to the curb, and you'll sort of carry it out. But it's just keeping that balance with your throttle and your brake. Just you want to sort of be, I'd say, half to 3/4 of a car width off the edge of the road, but you want to keep it quite tight. And then sort of, yeah, once you get to that sort of 2/3 to the final quarter, and you feel that little bump by the curb on the inside, then you can pick up the throttle and you'll be fine. So from there, run the car wide, up through the gears, you'll be 5th gear again. So I just lift off at the 1 and like turn the car in quite aggressively, and then sort of pick the throttle up and just sort of dance the car through the corner. Let it track all the way out to the curb on the outside, up through the gears. And then same again here. I'm braking slightly earlier here than I am at most of the other corners. So I'm braking at 3 board here. Back to second gear. Stay on the edge of the road. Turn the car in. Clip the apex. Let the car track wide. Half a car over the back of this stuff. Up through the gears again. So third. Up to fourth. Same again here. Just a little lift. Lift the throttle. Grab the curb, let the car track out. You might have to have a second lift about here because the car does tend to slide, and you'll feel like you're gonna slide off the track, but you won't. You just got to sort of lift, and then maybe a second lift if you're not completely confident or if you haven't lifted enough in the first one. So, and then as you're coming through there, so 4th gear, and you're looking for the bitumen change at the last turn, which is about, I'd say about 10 to 15 meters before the bitumen changes colour. So there's, if I just go back a little bit, there's a white line on the road, there's a 2 board, so it's probably about 195 really. It's, yeah, slightly earlier. You want to get the car to sort of rotate in so you can actually maximize the attack of the corner going up the hill. Otherwise, you're just going to lose time. So I see a lot of guys driving really deep here, and then all it does is sacrifice their exit, and then they lose time going up the hill and they get past. So nice and wide, brake early, get the car to turn in, be in second, and short shift to third, over the back of the curb, and run it up the hill. as hard as you can. And that, guys, is a lap of Road America. So we'll warm the tyres up. We'll give you a lap at speed.
You've just done a 218.64.
And that is the lap of Road America, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this season of lap guides. I really appreciate everybody that's tuned in and watched them. Thumbs up, subscribe to our channels. It means a lot. We'll be taking a week break, and then we'll be getting ready for next season. We're going to be doing a couple of different series next season, so if you haven't seen it already, over on the community page, we've got a bit of a poll going on our YouTube channel. There'll be a post go up on Facebook in the next couple of days. Just go and click the ones that you'd like to view, and yeah, that'd be really appreciated to help us give you guys the best content possible going forward. So thanks again, and we will see you next season. See you guys.